Dino has arrived. Let's go. Let's get into the alternate mode. I want to cruise out for some spaghetti. Hello everybody, Sparkster1701 here. To wrap up our studio month, we're taking a look at another guy I've had for a little bit, and I'm now finally getting around to show you. This is Dino from the third of Michael Bay's films, Dark of the Moon. Now a bit of trivia should go along with the review of Dino here. Due to the fact that early in the production of Dark of the Moon, Dino was intended to be Mirage. In fact, if you play the Dark of the Moon video games that were done as a tie-in to the movie, he is called Mirage. So the name change to Dino obviously happened late in the production of Dark of the Moon. The name change was done at Michael Bay's insistence as to pay homage to Ferrari for the generous contribution of the car for the film, as well as for all the help that they gave them in the making of the film. So it seems kind of bitterly ironic that when Mirage finally gets credited as Mirage in the latest film, Mirage is now a Porsche. And they famously, for the longest time, did not want to be associated with violent robot toys. Oh well, I guess that's just a funny thing how fate turns out. Alright, let's move Dino aside here. And we can take a look here at his backdrop. The backdrop features a battle scene on the highway. High-speed chase as it's listed on the back of the box. This is apparently when the Dreads were pursuing the Autobots. The Dreads, of course, being the Decepticon cars that all had dreadlocks on them. Michael Bay couldn't help but put stereotypes on the Transformers, couldn't he? I guess that was his way of saying he really didn't like us. Oh well, with how terrible a lot of his movies are, most of the world doesn't like him either, so... At any rate, it's not a bad backdrop, but it could be better. Alrighty. All in all, this isn't a bad looking figure. I'd expected it to have been a little bigger, but I'm not the one in charge of picking the scales from Hasbro. But at any rate, let's take a look at Dino's accessories. He comes with a pair of curved blades. They look the same, but they are different because both of them do have a rectangular pin coming out of one side, and it is not the same on both of them, because here's the pin on both of them. As you can see, it's on the opposite side. So if you're buying this toy loose, make sure you check those if you can. I know that's not always convenient, folks, but I do like to tell you that. Many a times I've bought loose toys, and it turns out that while they may look like they have the right parts, they don't have the right parts. Alright, now let's take a look here at Dino's articulation. He has about what you would expect for a studio figure. The head can be turned from side to side. It is a little difficult with my fat fingers. And his head does rock up and down a bit. You can raise his arm up about so far. And if we move the doors to the back, his arm does rotate all the way around, if I can get it unstuck. You can bend the arm at the elbow greater than 90 degrees. And he does have a small swivel at the bicep, so he will have some G.I. Joe battle grip. The problem is that it doesn't extend too far due to the car kibble. He does not have the ability to twist his hips when he's in robot mode. His legs can only spread apart about so far, again due to the car kibble. There is a very slight thigh cut. You can raise his leg at the hip 90 degrees, you can bend him at the knee 90 degrees, and you can also flip up his ankle. So we get some, but we also lose a fair bit of articulation on him. Alright, let's get Dino transformed here. Start by turning him around, because we're going to go in here into the doors, and you're going to fold down the extra plastic. And I kind of want us to keep the doors straight a bit. So we come down here to the back, and we're going to pop the bumper free here from the top of the car. And they want us to turn him around so he faces us. And kind of just fold down the head and chest area. You just got to get it freed. There it goes, finally pop free. Pop that free and fold it on down so it's out of our way. Of course, once we got it down, we come down here to where the head is and fold the head inwards, like so. And then we come up here and we can raise out this entire section. Stretching it all the way to its limits. And of course, up here, up at the top, we got to fold out this section here. So we have it out. And it also has its own spot where it rotates. We got to shift the arms a little bit so that we can turn it. There we go, that's better. And of course, once we got that, then we can straighten it out and it forms the hood of the car. Then we got to rotate the arms so they start to come down. I'm going to use my hand on this. And then we rotate him here at the elbow so that his hands are facing the other way. And then we can start bending everything inwards. Apparently they want us to turn them and get everything in. Try to be careful that we don't turn the car too much. There we go. Ah, yes, there was a glitch to this. I was afraid of that. When we get the arms turned, we got to turn them so they bend at the elbow a bit. Because there's a tab on the arm and that should line up and connect in here. So I got to fix this, so excuse me. Okay, we had to rotate the arms so they could bend a bit at the shoulder joint and the elbow, so they connect in like so. Alright, once you've done that, they have an added step where you can get in underneath here, and they want you to put the blades inside the car. They'll connect here onto a couple of holes on the windshield. And then we can press his hands together. Once the hands are rotated so the thumbs face towards the outside of the car. And then that way that'll hold all the weapons in. Then they want us to come down here to where the back wheels are. Kind of pull them free, out and free. So that way we can rotate his legs at the knee and then fold his feet up. Then we can fold the body back up. Get the body inside. They do want it so that these protrusions go underneath the hands, so make sure you get them in under there. Also helps we make sure the front end of the car is held together. Alright, so once we've done this, then you rotate the legs at the hip, so to bring the back wheels up. And then kind of rest his feet in there against his hands. Then they want us to rotate the tailpiece here. As we try to shift everything so that it all fits together. Bring down the rear bumper of the car. And line it up so we can connect it to these sides of the side pieces that we had on his legs. Should line up and attach. Thought I had it. There we go. Now we got it. Now we got it. Now we've got it. At least we got it on one side. Can we get it over here? Well, we would if it would quit coming back out on us. There it goes. Now it finally snapped into place. And we just adjust things accordingly to get the doors in and get them into place. Oh, that's what happened. The plastic folded up on us. There we go. And get the door in. It would help if all of it would go in. There we go, finally. And there we have it. Dino has been transformed into a modern Ferrari. Something a lot of us would like to have, but there is no way we can afford it. So now we get down to my thoughts. Well, as much as I enjoy, once again, having a transforming Ferrari into our lineup, the problem with it comes with the fact that it is a bit overcomplicated to transform. That's the one thing I have against a lot of the deluxe class toys, is that many of them are a little bit of a pain in the butt to shift back and forth between robot and car. And a lot of that is just due to the fact that they're needlessly complicated. This one is one of them that could have benefited from that. Plus, unfortunately, I mean, I don't know how well you can tell it here on the camera, but the plastic does not exactly match the paint job on certain areas, like namely around the doors and the roof of the car. Again, I don't know how well that's coming off on the camera, but it is a detraction. But basically, it's mainly a detraction on the car mode. When he's as the robot, it's not as noticeable. So, if you do want Dino for your collection, I would say keep him in the robot mode, and you'll probably be happiest. At any rate, that's my review of Dino from the Studio Series Dark of the Moon. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please do remember that if you like the content we featured here on this channel, please do like, share, comment, and subscribe. For next month, we're still playing it by ear, so hopefully we'll have a decision by then. This is Sparkster1701 saying I will catch you all later.